Hey, what's going on, guys? C-Score here, back with another Blue Lock Punch World Champion video. It's January 2026, and we're gonna just recap all that happened throughout this month. So we started off pretty hot with the new 4-star rarity in Sayatoshi. We got Shido as well with the Rin and Sagi card, a signed Shido card. Then we got Boro, and then Mitoma got buffed up for modern standards, and then we got this Nagi and Rayo card. Overall, Cake went pretty crazy, getting 5 things overall. Technically getting 3. Speed as well, getting 3. Physical learning lacking with 2, and intentions only a single 1. It's the free card, but as always, I don't really recommend using that much gold for these cards. And it's only good if you're using a level 100 Asagi or level 100 Sindo, so not really the greatest. Um, if you playing daily, they gave out nearly 700 points. I don't know what that is. I think that's like, well, like, let me see. They gave out 63 multis throughout the month, so uh, I would definitely pick up at least one copy of Sai if you don't have them already by the end of the month, right? And I mean, you just kind of need it for the future. Right? I mean, it's always just nice to collect at least one everything. Level 100 is the goal, you know. And if you really can do it, in level 150, but obviously that requires the yakisoba, which currently right now is an exclusive food that basically is kind of limited to only the shop with real life money. So not really recommended, but other than that, I mean, yeah, so far went all right. So I decided to change these up, more readable. Tell me how you feel about them. I also post them on the Reddit and stuff. Um, I guess I also make a YouTube community post. It's just so just get more attention across the whole thing. Basically, if you're reading right here, it's just saying that we're training Tentacle, we're making a midfielder, right? And whoever you're playing, each of the 5 other ones you can use, right? So if you're training Sai, then the best friend to borrow would be Sagi. And if you have a Sagi level 80 or level 100, then you could borrow Hiyori. And if you have him level 100, and you just keep going down the line. If you have any of these guys level 80 and you don't have these guys level 65, then they're definitely more there, especially level 100. If you have these at level 100, yeah, they're totally still usable, right? Because, I mean, there's no reason why you would use like a level 65 borrow if you have a level 100 RU, right? Like, it's no brainer. Like, yeah, just use RU. The SRs are a little different because at least these newer SRs are a lot stronger. So if you do have these 65, I think some of them also get special extra bonus 65 as well, compared to players at level 80. So SRs wise, these are probably the ones you should be using, especially for Sai. I know he has like a little event that gives him a huge buff to Tentacle if you use this, and same thing with the next slide on Kick Power. For the EX card, I mean, it's the only EX card worth using at all, right? Other than that, I mean, it's pretty, cookie cutter, dry. It's pretty simple. Again, I just redesigned this. I think it looks more readable, right? Like I think the other one also was kind of like not really symmetrical. Like I don't know, like I kept copying and pasting images and it didn't look right. So this is more in line with what it looks like in game, right? So hopefully y'all enjoying this little change, and we'll move on to hit training a kick power forward. Again, whoever you're training, which will probably be like Rin or no, Sendo, not Sendo. Gosh dang, freaking Shido. You just want to go left to right. You could borrow level 150 Sai Toshi. You could do that, but like if you look at the actual numbers, like at least consistency, like these 3 guys will still get you slightly better numbers. If you actually look at it, so. I mean, you could go ahead because he does have the combo card. There's an argument for that, but it's just that if you have this card, the kick power, the kick training cards on this are just as strong as size combo cards. Alright, so more often than not, you're gonna be using your boost on this card. Most of the time, this card should be the strongest, right? On that again, just using the more recent releases. Nagi, he's still somewhat usable. He's right there with Yukimiya. Some older ones with Batra, Kunigami, and this Shido, if you have him leveled up to this one. But the new one obviously is a bit better. I probably should mention both here. Maybe if you really want to, you can play around with this card because it has a little gamble event. It's gonna give a 4% buff to a random card out of all these guys, and ideally it hits one like this EX card or hits one his combo card or any of those really strong cards. But I mean, honestly, it's really rare. You have to do like a couple hundred runs, honestly, to get to get out that. But you can do the same thing over here with Kick if you really want to. Same thing with Rin. Rin has 600% event. I think in the crazy world you get 600% and 450% on Rin. Thing is, Rin always spawns on his card, so it's not gonna be as strong compared to this one's tile, or whatever. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna looking pretty dang simple. Nothing really too crazy. This team got the most amount of buffs right this month. We get 5 of them. I think I already mentioned here, but Shido, if you're training him, I'll for sure use this card because it gives him a little buff right there. Now I'm going into midfielder, bit towards speed, and over here we got Borrow, we got Hiyori, not to say, and we got Shido, Chigiri, and Otoyo. Rayo's right there. Also, if you really want to, you could use Rayo. If you care about just numbers and then use this card will give Rayo like a bunch of stats for speed. Thing is, right now Rayo's not really on a relevant team, but I know at least for PvE content, sometimes you need to beat the opponent with a certain amount of stats, so you could use that. But most often than not, I noticed that Sai kind of just carries you, right? Because he basically has a billion in all stats, so any of those champions that need you to have a high enough stats, you could really just use Sai. Like he'll probably do enough for you. It is the end of the month. I did want to bring up some of these limited cards are back. I wouldn't go chasing any of these limited cards, right? They get really good value off of level 100. So if it really isn't level 100, I want to go chase it. Maybe it's nice for collecting, but I want to use gems on them, obviously. But that banner is up, and they gave out a couple of free multis, and I wouldn't be surprised if, like, right towards the last hour that they gave out another one. Kira is right there, and Sendu, Ren. I think you could kind of slot these guys in. I think they're pretty relative to these two, Toya and Chicory, but overall I think this one should be the strongest. After this ES card at level 65 is pretty dang strong, having that speed tile. Something that these other ones don't really have access to. They only get them to level 100, so level 65 for speed breaker is always nice. I always mention that. And same thing here, if you want to play around, you could use this Eagle card. It has a 300% event, but again, it probably take hundreds of runs just to get something decent. So probably want to use the Eagle card, but it is an option, right? Alright, going into physical. Pretty standard over here, nothing too crazy. The only things that we got was these 2 players. The honorary card, I guess if you really want to, something I guess I didn't mention, but I think you can use the honorary card on every single thing, just because it does give 10 million stats, and that gets multiplied by all these other percentage boosting numbers. You could do that if you care about just raw numbers, just putting honorary on every single card if you got it, and it just came back, and if you get lucky and pull, one copy again, I want to use gems, but definitely don't use gems. This card is pretty recent, but if you have a level 65 as real EX card, I mean, yeah, it's really cracked. Obviously, strongest physical, training card, so you definitely want to do that. Document is still around. Arya has some usage, and this guy's one of the oldest characters in the game, so maybe if you were around back then, or you just pick up a lot of copies of this guy. Maybe you got him a couple high levels. Physical really has like very low options. I even had to include this freaking free as a star card. I guess I should have also stated that this, I had it in my last video, but you can always use this card anywhere, right? Because I think all new players now should be getting this card level 100, completely free, alongside with 3 players and 3 SSRs of their choice. So yeah, you can always use this card. Yeah, it's not a bad card, but again, these newer cards are just astronomically stronger. Even at just level 50, they do a lot. And as we move forward, more they just gonna keep getting stronger, honestly. This guy kind of gets left in the dust. This ES card, it's okay, but if you have this card, I feel like you just use the Rivalry EX compared to this one. I think just pretty standard. Sadly, physical again didn't get too much. So moving on to the last one, we got intelligence, which only got a singular thing with logging. Even then, I was looking at the numbers, and honestly, it's not even the craziest improvement. I think it's actually really similar to this Halloween card, which was here previously. So it wasn't even the greatest improvement. But yeah, but again, like I said, with the rail card, with the speed, if you use Nagi, you could totally use this card. And if you have all three of these cards, like Nagi gets a whole bunch of numbers. He gets a bunch of attentions from this. Obviously, everybody gets a bunch of numbers all around from this. And Nagi gets a lot of technical and physical and kick power. So he could look really strong when you have all these things paired up one another. Not to say he could be around there, you know, especially if you use him with Bachra and Sagi. Nico is just a little old, but he still has decent numbers. And then there's Ren and Matoma. Which I didn't put the speed Matoma, but I guess you could use the speed Matoma. But again, typically these limited units are very unlikely to have them on high level, right? Otherwise, you would be, you know, already using them. Going into teams, honestly, you know, one of the it's just this is literally just the exact same thing that I posted on the community, right? So like over here, yeah, it's just it's just the same teams. This Matoma team is always pretty fun to use. Just in these these world class players. Don't weird thing about this team is because you don't have a real intelligence unit, you have to use this Luna. You have to use this Luna, who's a technical unit, to drain them intelligence just to fill up that slot. But the team's still pretty fun and I think it does PvE content pretty well, honestly. So in link matches, you need to have two different teams, and a player cannot be on the same team. So you can't have Borrow on both of these teams. So what you need to do is either substitute Borrow for Hiyori, right? So you can use Borrow on this team, or if you want to keep Borrow on this team, you substitute Borrow for Nanase, right? So you gotta pick. This team I think is, I mean, it has the more newer stuff. So I'll probably put Borrow on this team, put Nanase in this because this team is still pretty solid, right? Or you can just use this team with Matoma if you have all five of these world with five guys, or whatever. And well, look, I mean, with the looking game, just look at my account and just see, what's been happening up in here on the global version of Blue Lock Project World Champion. So let me just go over here. Alright, so we're in, and honestly, I got pretty solid luck, honestly. Let's see here again. I'm telling you, I didn't spend a singular gem this whole entire month. And I got 693 points, and as you can see, I mean, I have all these stuff. I'm probably gonna trade for a side. I probably should have posted more of my free multis, but I'm telling you, dude, I literally got this guy level 80 without a single gem spent. And honestly, my only goal was just to get every single 4-star level 100 and just call it a day. I got all these other players. I was trying to collect all the Matomas just to have them. But that banner looks like it's kind of going away, so that probably won't happen. You can look at the teams over here, right? Here's a team that I was talking about with 19 skills, right? I mean, yeah, it's just a strong team. You can look at you don't look at the skills of multiple activators, and this thing has ultimate formation, which like all three of these guys activate. So it kind of boosts up. Same thing over here, I believe, on this team. Ultimate formation. You also got this one called Half-Baked Scrubs. Oh well, be fun. My numbers aren't too great, just because I don't really focus on them as much. Again, still haven't spent a single gem. I'm just trying to save up until I can guarantee I'll get one of my more favorite players maxed out. I made a little Reddit post and saying that if you want to max out any of these players, like you just want to look out for banners that are have good rates, and the bar for these banners is basically like 20%. That's the bar. So saying that, like, this banner is pretty decent actually. It's the very last day, but since it has 5% on the 5th summon, even on the 3rd and 4th summon, it has 3%. Yeah, on the 3rd, 4th summon, it has 3%. The first two are pretty mid with only 1%, but after that, the second half is pretty nice. I know the previous days there was a luck banner with 15 redraws, which is crazy. Yeah, that thing is like mega value because you're doing 3,000. You're doing something for 3,000, you're essentially getting 32 pulls, right? That you get to choose what you want. So those banners came out in the end of the month. So it's just kind of these games kind of do just give you like good value near the end of the month when the hype already kind of high down. So I know most people are always impulsive. They're gonna do the free summon. They're gonna see that super chance, and they're gonna want to spend, right? Or they're gonna see like some of these banners, but this banner is terrible. By the way, let me tell you, this 10-step banner is absolutely terrible. Like I already know what's point of it. I mean, this banner has 50% chance for side, but that thing is it's like $70, so I will not do it. But yeah, I just been really chilling, just doing the dailies, which I have 21 hours till then. If you were doing these ticket multis, I'm pretty sure I got this thing twice. I got this thing twice. I'm saving till I get 20 because what I'm really scared of is that I'm gonna get ultimate chance, and if I do get ultimate chance and I don't have enough tickets, I'm just gonna off myself. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I got this thing twice though, so I pulled on the very first day, on the very first free summon, pulled Sai. Recently, literally like a couple days ago, I pulled another Sai from a free summon on this guy. Because it looks like for all future banners on even EX slots, you could choose Sai, which I would recommend. Like, yeah, I mean, I want this card for the collection purposes, but for the future and it being a player, it's probably better just to pick Sai Toshi. So I got another one there. Again, I got 2 copies from this thing. Since it's near the end of the month, also, what do you want to tell y'all that you should, just buy out all these things if you can, or try to buy out as much as you can. I'll probably just buy out most times buy the player tickets. That's what I don't care about. Maybe food. My club doesn't do too great just because this, I made this account in January 1st, so not really much I can do about that. But I got a couple thousand points that I can spend around here. It seems like. I mean, you could do this, but honestly, since I only care about the players, I don't really know if I really need these URs. Because honestly, once I get just one UR, I'm honestly gonna be happy. So I might still buy it, but for most of y'all, it's because these if you buy pieces of a UR, you can't unlock it. When you get UR, is you have to get the UR itself. I mean the SSR itself. So I wouldn't really get these card pieces. And that's just me though. And memory boss is always good. Right now I haven't leveled up any of my cards. Only these 2 ones that are pretty free. Just cause I kind of want to save for this. But look at that, I get it's level 50, but yeah, I just want to save my resources for this thing. I don't know, maybe get to like level 200. I mean, it's just this resource. You only get some summon, so that's probably the most difficult part. But yeah, that sounds pretty decent, just doing my thing over here. If you train every day, you should be able to get, a couple, 1,000 gems, weekly, honestly. If you're able to train up these like trust levels over here. You can see anything to get tickets. I think it takes like over like 300 runs just for a singular player to get them all the way up to like level 30. But eventually it gets rewarding. No one thing I'll tell you is these rivalry battles. I know eventually this thing will get resetted. So if you can, you really wanna finish this all the way. And it should be pretty easy. Because it's kind of relatively weak. I think. Maybe not. I mean, it's over here. You only need 6 billion. So if you could do that, that's already 3,000 gems just for making all over there. And if you haven't done these missions, at least make it to level 100. Because at level 100, you can get another 1,000 gems. Right there. After that, it's just title, so I don't really, maybe you won't care as much, but make it to at least level 100. Because eventually this thing gets resetted. For like the newer stuff or whatever. And that'll be the end of the video, guys. Thank you for watching. C squared, and peace out.